To do with replacing the words mother and father with gender-neutral terms. Morgan Mackay is here to break it all down. So what are we talking about, Morgan?
Hey, Steve, Natasha. So the bill actually passed both houses of the state legislature, and now it awaits Governor Kathy Hochul's signature if she decides to sign it. But the bill passed so fast and with no debate that several lawmakers were privately shocked when they learned it passed both the Senate and Assembly. If Hochul signs a bill, the words mother and father will be removed from family court law and replaced with gender-neutral terms. Mother would be replaced with gestating parent, and father would be replaced with non-gestating parent. The bill's memo argues that this new language is more inclusive, and it takes into account that a biological parent doesn't always mean that they are an actual mother or father in a child's life. For example, if a child is adopted or born from a surrogate. But critics of the bill argue that this change is unnecessary, especially when lawmakers only have one more day left of the legislative session before they leave Albany for the rest of the year. Republican Assembly Minority Leader Ed Raw weighs in. And we also asked Governor Hochul if she will sign the bill, but she avoided answering directly.
We don't think it does anything to make New York more affordable on a permanent basis. And that's what New Yorkers are talking about. That's what they care about. They want to know what we're doing to make their lives more affordable.
I'm not familiar with what was introduced late last night, so I'll take a look at it. But I have until the end of the year to review them and make a decision. So I won't be commenting on pending legislation.
Now, we also reached out to the sponsors of the bill in both houses for an interview or even a comment, and they declined.
So talking about declining. When Damon sent me the article, of course, so I Googled it to make, because I double, triple check all the, the credibility of the stories. And then I reached out to several of our state legislators, many that I do have on speed dial, Assemblyman Nader Sage, State Senator Shelley Mayer, Assemblyman Gary Pretlow. So Shelley Mayer was the first one to respond. Nader was the first one to tell me, because what I asked, I was like, yo, good morning. I'm seeing this. Is there any truth to this? That's what I asked him. And then I asked him, so did this come up to vote? Is this something you support? Why is this necessary? So the only person who really it's Nader Sage, Assemblyman, who also is not running for re-election, I believe.
Right. Go ahead.
I believe that they, you can see my story on all the people that are running in Westchester. I think there's a primary coming up in a couple of days for his seat, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, he said no. I voted against it. It's a bad bill. And he said the governor, I'm sure, probably will veto it. So that was the only other person who reached back out to me right away was Shelley Mayer. She first told me it was still voting, because this is when they were still voting here. I believe it passed both houses, but I'll check. And I was like, yo, so my comment to her was, without knowing more, this could give the MAGA GOP ammunition going into the midterms where Democrats have a real chance to take back control. And then she said she would send me the proposed legislation. I have not seen it yet. I reached out to Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins' office, and they said they were the local office in Yonkers. They said they were forwarding it to her Albany office. I have not heard back from them. I'm giving everybody, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm gonna do an article. I let them all know I'm doing an article. But so here's the thing. We've always been critical of the Democratic Party, taking out votes for granted and stuff like that. But sometimes the Democrats fumble the ball on the 5-yard line. And it seemed like a setup. The bill bill, the reason of midterms, I can't see her signing it as so. Yeah. I hope she doesn't sign it either, because signing it, this, where you have alternate facts, misinformation, all this stuff going on, fake facts, fake news. Um, this bill alone is enough for a rallying cry for the Republicans to use all over the country going into the midterm, talking about if you vote Democrat, that's what you're going to get. There is no reason to get rid of the terms mother and father. And in child support cases, unconfirmed parent will be unconfirmed parent will be alleged parent. That's the only other part I remember off the top of my head. There is no reason, when we have real things that people care about, the prices, you have to make life choices at the gas pump. Am I going to get a gallon of gas or a gallon of milk? Because both of them are so expensive these days. Milk, egg, breads, everything is expensive. Everything is going up. Affordability for housing affordability is a big issue here in Westchester and in many other communities that we live in. There's a lot of what you call pocketbook issues or tabletop issues that everybody is dealing with, and the Democrats are supposed to be that party. And instead of making these cases that they should, they're passing a bill in New York. The fact that this bill passed both the Assembly, the New York State Assembly, and the New York State Senate is a problem. And if for Andrew Stewart Cousins to be the majority leader, that means the Democrats have the majority in the state Senate. So this is, Republican, Democrats, regardless. This is the other side want to use the word woke. They co-opted the word woke, and this is going to be an example of the woke Democrats, and it's going to be a problem. And if Governor Hochul signs it, she's just going to give ammunition to what's the Republican running, Blake, the Nassau County, Nassau County executive. I forget his name. It's just going to give it's going to give him ammunition to challenge her for governor. Bruce Blakeman, that's his name. You're just going to give. Oh, thank you. I looked it up and you already put it up. I mean, you're just giving ammunition on why people shouldn't vote Democrat. And you wonder why Trump is winning elections and this MAGA movement is successful, because people are tired of giving their votes to one party that takes your vote for granted, and you don't see nothing from it. And then you have movements like this. I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out there. Everybody should call their state senator and their state assembly person and ask them, did they vote for this? And if they did, why? They should question what was the purpose. Why was this bill necessary? And if y'all all need to be calling the governor's office and telling the governor, don't do it. Don't pass this. Veto this. Don't do it. This is
no.
when you talk about politics being a participatory sport, this is where all y'all need to get involved. Y'all need to call your state senators and call your state assemblyman and call the governor's office.
Let me tell you something. I'm straight up, and I know you writing your article. I'm about to do a video in it this week, but I'm also putting a statement out. I will never, if this is signed, I will never vote for a Democrat again. This is horrible. On a political level, it's horrible. On a spiritual level, it's even worse. It's even worse. If we call ourselves Christians, Bible tells us what? To honor your mother and your father so your days will be long. It didn't say gestation parent.
Yo, gestation parent, what the hell is that?
I don't even know what it is. And I don't even care. I don't even care, bro. And it's sad that at this point, you don't hear anything from these pastors. Nothing from these black pastors, Al Sharpton and all these other people that always skin and grin in front of these politicians. And now they want to take mother and father off. And it's just not, yo, AJ, it's just not the birth certificate. They're legally changing family law in New York State.
Right, I talked about that with the child support. Even the terminology like paternity cases will be now known as parentage proceedings.
This is insane.
And while the punitive father, commonly used in cases involving an unconfirmed biological parent, will now be labeled an alleged parent in official.
Let me tell you something. See, and it's funny. You could Google. I haven't seen it on MSNBC or CNN. I've been looking to see if they actually played it.
I don't know. I caught MSN is where I caught it in one of the other channels. I haven't checked since then. But again, this bill, to be clear, the bill is sponsored by the senator who's a Democrat who represents the Bronx, and Amy Pollin, who's a Democrat that represents Westchester. It was pushed through the Assembly in March and cleared the Senate this week, and it now heads to Governor Hochul's desk. This was pushed by Democrats. This is
exactly
the Senate was sponsored and pushed by Democrats, and opponents wasted no time unloading on the proposal. It's woke culture run amok. It's one upmanship, says Conservative Party Chairman Gerard Kaiser, calling it an example of how out of tune the New York legislature is, an unnecessary and wasteful use of time. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things coming out the Conservative Party, but unnecessary, that's the word that I've been using the whole time. Why was this necessary? This is definitely unnecessary, and I agree that this is definitely a wasteful use of time.
Oh, well, now let me explain something. Black people, y'all have to separate yourself from this foolishness. I've been saying it for a long time, because we sit here and we be silent on the foolishness, and it makes us look foolish. We're silent on AOC running around the country bastardizing the Black struggle and Black history, and nobody calls her on it. And then when this stuff runs, they think we down with this nonsense. I'm not down with it. Huh?
I was talking about Bruce Blackman, the Republican. He's already gave his statement. Democrats, led by Kathy Hochul, continue their declaration of war on New York families by canceling the loving
Absolutely.
terms of mom and dad and replacing them with gesturing and non-gesturing parent. This insanity ends when I'm governor. Again, this is what I was just saying. You're giving unnecessary ammunition, like, and it's a slippery slope because the conservative chairman said he warned that the measure could open the door to more legislative language overhauls while pointing out more pressing frustrations in Albany, such as the state budget that's nearly 2 years late, 2 months late. Sorry, not years, 2 months late. See, he said, imagine people who are considering moving to New York, seeing this and
We're
saying,
not coming to New
wait, wait,
York.
wait, 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 seeing, do I need this silliness?
Exactly.
This is really, this is a really weird group of elected officials, and this comes out of left field. Yo, I'm questioning all of, and I'm putting on a record here. And please, if you are a representative of any of the state representatives, let them know Black Westchester is demanding answers from
Hold on,
all.
hold on, stop. Jeff. Jeff, let's make sure it's coming from the Democratic Party. It's coming from the Democratic Party, bro.
I just
They
read.
wrote the legislation.
Yeah, I just read the articles. I just read the two sponsors.
Exactly.
The two sponsors is the Democrat out of the Bronx and the Democrat that represents Westchester. They sponsored the bill, and it's like, but I demand, and everybody should be doing this. Your state representative, did they vote for this? Like, the only person who told me is Nader and said I voted against it. He is the only one that I've reached out. And to be clear, I did not hear back from Gary Pretlow, and I have his cell phone number. And I
Anybody let me tell you something. This is it. Anybody you didn't hear back from voted for that shit.
I did not hear back from Senate Majority Leader Andrew Stewart Cousins' office. I did hear Shelley Mayer, and I did hear from Nader so far. I'll be reaching out to everybody else, but I did not hear. Nader is the only one who said he voted against it. And it was a bad bill, and he voted against it. He says that. You know what I'm saying? He is the only person so far who said they voted against it. So I'm going to be reaching out to everybody over the next day or two, and those who don't answer, I'm going to list who answered me and who didn't. And y'all all need to be putting pressure on the governor, who's up for election soon, and she's going to.
Oh no! Hey, listen. No. Listen. Senate members who voted yes, right? Joseph Aldabato Jr., Jamal Bailey, April Baskin, Liz Kruger, Zelnor Myrie, Gustavo Rivera, Zechariah Ramos, John Liu, Shelley Mayer, Pete Hackman, Andrew Stewart Cousins, and others for a total of 38 votes. Senate members who voted no. So it's right here. There's a link where you can find everybody to vote.
Send me that. And
the bill is here too, because I downloaded the bill from you.
Yeah, send me that. I've been dealing with a lot of other things, so I didn't really get a chance to get all into that. But yo, this is a very bad. Yo, so I'm gonna show you how crazy this is. There are very few things in this day and age today, June 7th, 2026, where Damon K. Jones and Dr. Robert Baskerville agree on. And they both agree that this is unnecessary.
Well, that's your party, bub. That's your party, bub.
Yeah,
that's
so
your party.
When I was talking to him, he's like, yo, send me the article. It was right after I talked to him after I talked to you. He's like, yo, send me the article. He said, yo, this makes no sense. And I was like, yo, dude, like, and there is a lot of people that don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see it on the news. I actually Only
No,
because you sent it to me. You sent it to me. That's the only reason I knew.
Because only the conservative news is talking about it.
Well,
See, this is the
I honestly haven't been watching a lot of news lately. So
no,
I'm just
dude,
coming off vacation. I haven't been watching news.
I watch the news, right?
Yeah.
I watch the news. That's all I do.
No, I'm saying I just came off vacation and I was toned off of the news on vacation.
No, well,
and I haven't got back to it yet. So, yeah.
The last couple of days, that's everybody been talking about, but it ain't been coming. It ain't been coming from the left-leaning news. They ain't saying shit about it.
Oh, that time of year again.
Well, I mean, it can't be an infiltration if the leader of the party is signing off on it. How can it be infiltration? He's the leader of the party.
How can it be what?
Infiltration. Infiltration where? Listen, these democratic socialists got these Democrats shook in New York State. They got them shook. They got them shook. And they don't have the testicular fortitude to tell these fools to sit down. They got them shook. If you're passing this, you're shook. You're just worried about getting reelected. And then listen, I've said it before. Most of our civil rights have just sold out because the money's coming from there. The money's coming from there. Urban League, NAACP, the money is coming from there. National Action Network, the money is coming from there. They're getting that money. So they can give a damn.
So you made a comment, and I wanted to Google it. Left-leaning media, the only one that I really see, MSN, I'm not sure what they are, left or right. They're kind of in the middle, I guess. But Huffington Post.
You talking about the real MSN?
MSN, yes, not MSNBC. Yeah. MSN.
No, they're fair.
That's
right?
what I said. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
So, but Huffington Post was the only real left-leaning. I just Googled it, and when you come up, you see Fox, you see the Washington Post, you see the New York Post was owned by the same people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Only one I see, like Fox News, New York Post, Washington Times, COL Live, don't know what that is, the Advocate.com, the Hungarian Conservative, the People's Gazette Nigeria.
Yeah, yo, I saw that. Dude, when I saw it.
But you know, the reason I'm reading these out, this is the first page of the search. Like, what you don't see and would be there if they are, would be MSNBC, well, MS Now. I don't see CNN either.
Right.
I don't see ABC. I don't see WABC, NBC, CBS. I didn't see any of, like, those would be in the, those would rank in the top on the front page. The fact that news outlets like the Hungarian Conservative and the People's Gazette of Nigeria, and the Finland News, the reason those show up on the front page is because
Amy Pollin was a sponsor.
Right, for the Westchester, yes.
Exactly. Like what is Amy?
Yeah,
what is
I couldn't pronounce the Democrat's name right. That's the name right there. You just took it down.
What?
That's every time I put it up, you take it down.
When you see the link, when I send you the link and it comes up on the page on the Albany government page, his face is there. Right.
No, but I want people to see one more time. These are the sponsors. For everybody questioning, these are the two Democrats who sponsored this. I didn't know how to pronounce the last name of the Bronx guy, so I wanted to put it on the screen. And Amy Pollin from Westchester. So no, this is not infiltration. This is not whatever.
No, these are career. Well, Amy Pollin has been a Democrat since she has been a Democrat elected official since I started corrections.
Right.
So you talking about she got over 20 years? She got at least 20 to 30 years in city government, and she was a big person. They was talking to be the first female county exec. She could forget that. She could forget that. As far as I'm concerned, she can forget it. If you gonna run for county exec, you might as well forget it, because those are the two. And Shelley Mayer, like, hold on, did they say she voted for it? Hold on a second.
You said her name.
Yep. Come on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, people? Pete Harkham. Come on, what are we doing, Pete? What are we doing, Pete? What's going on? It passed the Assembly and the Senate. Are you
Yeah.
Are you serious?
So
hold on, I'm gonna see if I. I'm gonna see if I have
this. This is gonna have. I'm not sure whatever your thinking was to do it, but what is going to happen is you just gave ammunition to the Republicans, and that's going to affect the governor race here locally. That'll affect the next county executive race. That's going to cause y'all to possibly even maybe lose the Senate, control of the Senate and the Assembly in New York. Like there's a lot of consequences to. I don't see the advantages to this, and it was very unnecessary. You putting the names up?
I'm trying to find. Okay. Here's the votes. 38 nay. I can't. Oh shit! It's not.
When you send it to me, I got to look at it because it's too small on the screen for me to really see it.
Yeah. But I'm trying to, for people that are watching. This is the page. So you see 38A, 23 nay, 1 absent, 1 excused. That's the bill. But I gotta figure out where you could go to actually see who voted. It has to be somewhere up in here.
Well, I'm telling you, for people that are watching on the screen, it's too small on the screen for people to see this.
Yeah. But this is for anybody to say that it ain't true, or is it? Listen, there it is, man. There's the guy. There's the guy that supported it. Here's the dude that supported it. All right, I zoomed it in. Democrat. This is Democrat, right? And then now y'all can see it was introduced. It went in committee, right, for both houses. It went on the floor, right, and it passed both. And it passed both houses. So can nobody?
No, nobody. I put it. That's what I said. Send it to me, and I'll put it in the story, and you see all that. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, on the screen right now, it's too small for.
No, and Joshua, you're actually absolutely right. They're destroying. This is how you destroy the nuclear family. They have been working on this for the last 20 years, especially the black family. Y'all better get it together. Better get it together. Black people, you better get it together.
So I want to address Jeff Anderson. Says, okay, got it. Republicans doing the same thing to Black America, to all of. Listen, But the
No, bro.
Republicans, the Republicans are not pretending to be the party of black people.
Exactly.
The Republican is not the
Exactly.
party. The Republicans are not the party that majority of black people vote for. It's the Democratic Party that we vote for, and it's the Democratic Party in this case that is doing this to Black America. And we're not even talking about. We already know the Republicans don't care about us. Listen, we ain't even debating that right now. We're talking about the party that you support, that you give your undying loyalty to, that takes your vote for granted. And that's what we're dealing with here.
Exactly.
So
Stop with the Republican stuff.
by saying the Republicans do the same thing, which is true, takes away from the point we're making here about what the Democrats are doing right now. The Democrats in New York and this bill and what this means is what we're addressing right now. Anything else is you're just talking just to be making points and not dealing with the fact that this is going on right now and this is what they're doing. And anybody who can't hear that, who comes with, oh, the Republicans are doing the same thing like that, you just don't want to hear this. And I can't do that for you. So
listen, if you can,
Black Americans need them all to be voted out. The new Black Party voted out the new Black Party representative.
I don't even see that. Where you see that?
Jeff.
Okay. Yeah, they do take our vote for granted. Absolutely.
With Shay Jordan, shout out to Shay Jordan who's tuned in. So Black people need to become registered independents and make both sides work for our vote. Shay, I have been a registered independent since 2015. Damon and I actually started the Mount Vernon Independence Party, which eventually, when the chair of the Westchester Independence Party died, it kind of, that was our support, and we didn't keep it going.
Kind of fell apart. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm an independent person. He's running for town clerk. Came to get his signature. I happily signed his signature. He had his little walking list, and he knocked on my door, and I signed for his signature. So it is what it is. No, we need to be independent, and I don't know. There's no real benefactor behind the Independence Party, because let me tell you what the Democrats did. Since all y'all Negroes want to push up like the Democrats are for democracy, let me tell you what they did. So it used to be to have a third party in New York State. I don't want to hear about Trump. I don't want to hear about anything when I tell you the story, and the story is facts, and AJ will back it up. If the Democrats are for democracy, you can have a third party, and it used to be whatever governor you pick to run for governor, if you get 50,000 votes in the governor election, you'll be recognized as a third party, political party in New York State.
And let me stop you right there. For anyone we just showed a clip of the former Westchester Independence chairperson who said that in the clip that we shared earlier. He said those very words. Was sitting next to Paul Feiner. That was 50,000. At that point, it was 50,000 people. Go ahead, David.
So now, when the Democrats took total,
Dr. Cavallo,
if you're coming on late, if you rewatch it in the beginning, we talk about him and we play one of the videos. And on Wednesday, I'm doing a whole show on Dr. Cavallo because this is the 6th anniversary year of his death. So I'm doing a whole show on him and how he talked about political power and how to use it. So anyway, when the Democrats took control, they moved it from 50,000 to 150,000. So now they made it harder for third parties to exist in New York. They made it harder now for third parties to exist because let's say you don't like the incumbent. and you support, you don't like the incumbent governor, and you support the opposition, and you don't get that 150, and he doesn't get the 150,000 votes, you do not become a party. The Democrats did that. So they sit here and they talk about all this democracy BS. But what they do is just control power. And there's a lot of Democrats I love to death. Andrew Stewart Cousins, I love her like family. I've known her all my life. She knows my family. But that doesn't change the political process and how the game is played.
So,
and recognizing what the game is played.
So just dealing with on a local level, when Damon and I went and we started the Mount Vernon Independence Party, the Mount Vernon and Westchester Democratic Party saw it as a threat. When Damon and I and several others formed the Westchester Black Political Caucus, which was going to be trying to unite, the young Black power in Westchester and create somewhat of a pact so we could support candidates, the party told the Democratic candidates not to show up and not to be involved. When Damon and I first started People Before Politics in 2014, Democratic candidates were told not to come on our show. And they even said when they came on the show, I don't know why Reggie and them told me not to come on. Like, this has been one of the best interviews I've got. Like, several of them said that. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Doug Colte and the Republicans were telling the Republican candidates not to come on. And the few that actually had the balls to come on, they were, strong supporters of Black Westchester because they respected what we were doing. So, it was the Democratic Party locally that was trying to, because we were holding truth to power. And Democrats are in control, so we were holding them accountable. Those are the elected officials, and they had a problem. I mean, even when Damon and I first started Black Westchester, so we were exposing some of the things that were going on with Mount Vernon elected officials. And you know what they said about me and Damon? They said that we were making Mount Vernon look bad. The people who were doing these things, the people you voted for that were doing these things, they weren't making Mount Vernon look be bad. We were making it bad because we spoke about it. Before us, you had like the Mount Vernon Inquirer, who used to do the happy, joy stories, and they really didn't hold, and a lot of the Democrats used to stick their head in the sand and hope the problem would get better. Well, it didn't work. So it was time for some change. And, what the real problem was, I talked to Todd Milburn, Emmy Award-winning reporter from former reporter of News 12. He said, Damon, he said, we have no idea the stories that we did that they didn't even know what was going on, that they only knew what was going on because of us, and then they would do their own investigation and do their own story. You know what I'm saying? They were talking about not just them. They said LoHUD, ABC, NBC. He said, y'all don't understand how many people y'all brought. There were stories that may not have been big enough or might not have been under the radar for mainstream media that we actually brought enough attention that now more of the mainstream media realized that there was an issue, and then they did stories that they wouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and he said, y'all don't understand how many times and Ty was like, he said, there's so many times y'all did stories. And we was like, oh, and we took them stories and we ran with it and didn't give y'all no credit. He told me, he said that. He said that. He said y'all wouldn't get no credit for it, but we wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but I'm just giving you examples of when you have people that hold feet to the fire, and when you have people that are calling things out, instead of addressing the situation to make it better, the thing is to attack those people, attack their credibility, attack them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of dealing with what the situation is.
Hello.
We exposed several people that the people ended up voting for anyway. And then when they found out what we said was true, came back to us and said, "Oh man, I should have listened to y'all. What y'all said was right." Yeah, but y'all didn't listen when we was telling you all this stuff. You know, so anyway.
Issues related to surrogacy and parentage. Anyone making bad faith arguments deliberately misleading. Look, I'm not misleading a goddamn thing. They're taking mother and father off the birth certificate, Jeff. That's what they're doing, bro.
Well,
Like,
I read to you exactly what it said. I read to
listen,
you
no.
exactly the terms.
What is the point? What is the point for us to have independent black media to tell black people what is going on? Then y'all go quote the deceiver. We take our time to give y'all guys the information. This is what we do.
And to be clear, what we said was this passed the Senate and the Assembly and is on the governor's desk. We didn't say the governor passed this. We saying and even Naya Say, Assembly member of Naya Sayers, who said he voted against it, thinks that the governor is going to veto it. We just giving you the facts. So nobody's talking about what the governor believes or doesn't believe. It's just this passed the state Senate, this passed the Assembly, and it's on the governor's desk. And that's what
right.
That's
the bill takes mother and father off the birth certificate. The bill, listen, but I mean, to post that, I mean, we already know what the governor said. Our information.
I didn't say that. What the article put up, brother. What? I'm not following you.
I don't know.
I didn't do my article yet. So
no, we didn't know.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Really what they're doing.
So, if you're talking about what somebody else wrote or what somebody else is putting out there, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I looked this up. Damon brought the stuff. I looked it up. I've reached out to our elected officials, and I told you the ones that reached out to me, they got back to me, and the ones that didn't. The ones we found out voted for it, and the ones who didn't. So, and those are the things that I'm bringing up. Now, what anybody else reported, that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Listen, no, but I'm talking strictly about the bill. Like the bill takes mother and father off the birth certificate. So if this bill passed, right after it passed, yeah, hey, John, we played it. We played it earlier. It takes it off the birth certificate. So there will not be if you have a child after this bill passed, it will not say the father Jeff Anderson. It will say gestating or non-gestating parent, whatever that is. And I've still got to figure out what that is. They're doing all this to destroy the family, to make it. Listen, let's make it. Let's say 100 to make them easy to grab these children and adopt these children. The ones who have relationships with each other, they can't have children. Man, let me tell you, bro, this is so goddamn demonic. And if we can't see it at this point, I don't know what to tell you anymore. I don't even know what to say. And it's crazy how they passed it right when she's trying to run for election. And if she signs it, she might as well give it to Bruce. She might as well say, "Here, sir." But most likely she's going to veto it. She's going to veto it, and maybe they override her veto. No, I don't think they have enough votes to override the veto. I don't think they have enough votes to override the veto. Or she'll just wait till she win and sign it.
So again, under the legislation, mother becomes gestating parent, while father is recast as non-gestating parent, simply parent. Even legal terminology as paternity cases will now be known as parentage. The rewrite pushed by state Democrats replaces traditional family terms in custody, domestic, and education law with gender neutral alternatives.
Listen.
This is what we're talking about.
Right.
And for all of you out there, the clip they showing you is Fox. I didn't get this from Fox. I got this from MSN. So this is not even Fox. So he
said, ironically, a Hispanic politician wrote up the bill. Hey, listen. Look, I'm supporting everything y'all stand for. I didn't understand what they were doing until you explained it. All right. Listen, brother. That's what we're here for, and it's all love. But we got to be clear, and you need to be calling Andrea Stewart Cousins because she voted for it. You're in her district. You need to find out why she voted for this. As a man, because this is taking away the traditional family. This is the plan, y'all. They've been working on this for a long time. And the Black community needs traditional families. And we're losing at that game. We're losing big time.
And meanwhile, a punitive father, commonly used in cases involving an unconfirmed biological parent, will now be labeled alleged parents, the alleged parent in official state records. So yeah, you're the alleged parent.
Wow, that's crazy. See, listen, man. I don't care what y'all say about the other side. I don't vote for the other side. I examine policy and outcomes on the other side, from both sides. But this shit here is demonic. This shit here is attack on family. And they've been doing it slowly. And nobody has been seeing it. And I've been talking about it for the last 10 years. They've been doing it slowly. From the lack of masculinity in the party. If you're a strong Black man in the party, you don't get support. It is what it is. And I'm going to call it for what it is. Yes, they are slowly removing the traditional family away.
And this is an attorney right here.
Right. What they're doing. Oh, no. Listen, he already called me, so I know he'll be wanting to do a show. Oh, listen, Jonathan.
Shout out, brother Jonathan. How you doing, man?
Brother Jonathan Newton. I already know he probably got his mic ready. Wait. Oh, you, AJ, are definitely considered toxic masculine. I will believe that I'm a man of my work, but I also fighting housing fairness. No, brother, you could continue to fight the housing fairness, but you're in Yonkers. You ain't fighting Republicans. You're fighting Democrats.
Well, unlike Mount Vernon, there are Republican city council persons in Yonkers. It's mostly Democrat, but it's still mostly Democrat. Yeah, New Rochelle and Mount Vernon both have some Republican elected officials.
I mean, yeah, but you got
Mount Vernon, we only got Democrat.
You got Democrat assembly, you got a Democrat senator, you got a Democrat mayor, you got a largely Republican I mean, a largely Democrat city council. So you're fighting Democrat. His vote don't mean nothing. At the end of the day,
even the county legislators, other than Nolan, everybody else is Democrat.
Right. Well. Listen. To me, it's the Democratic Socialists. They're a bigger threat to the progressives. They done punked the progressives. That the progressives just don't want to be progressives no more. They want to be quiet. They don't want to rock the boat.
You said there's very few normal Democrats. There's very few normal Republicans. Like with the Republican Party, like both sides have gone so far to the left and to the right, like so far left and so far right. You know what I'm saying? Like there are Republicans that I used to know that they were moderate. You know what I'm saying? There was some things we didn't agree on, but there was some things we agreed on. You know what I'm saying? There's some Democrats that those are the reach across the aisle and work together. But now it's just like you so far right and you so far left. I can't work with you because you're Republican. I can't work with you because you.
But AJ, we did not push back when the shit started going too far left. We did not call them out when it went too far left.
Well, let me be clear. So neither one of us are registered Democrat. The Democratic Party did not push back enough.
It's the Democratic Party or whatever. I still say we because I voiced my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? I say what need to be said.
No, but we were not the ones that didn't push back. We were pushing back.
Right. But the party didn't push back.
Right.
The party didn't say anything. The party's not saying anything about AOC going in these churches and telling a whole bunch of lies in the church, and the pastor's sitting right there. Like, come on, bro. Because listen, at the end of the day, when the party doesn't push back, when them Negroes doesn't push back, the pushback from the right, the pushback from the right is against all of us.
Well, with that, it's 8:08. You can keep going. But I'm not going to be on here another half an hour.
No, but I'm just making.
No, I got something I have to do. So that's what I'm saying. So
right. I'm just making my point. The pushback is all of us. When you say President Parker just want a job, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because what's going on in the South with redistricting, it ain't about black people. We just had primaries in three or four states. Now, one black person said he couldn't vote. So it's not about us. It's about them losing their jobs. Period. Ain't about us. Black people can still vote. Now, one black person in California said they couldn't vote. So it's about Democrats not being able to get elected.
Okay, so with that, I'm bidding you adieu. I got something to do. No,
peace blessings, everybody.
No, it'll be 8:35 and we still be. I'll be like,
yeah. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.